Well, I think this market cycle is bringing affordability challenges. That's just the reality of what's taking place.
Slowing down to speed up is really key so that you are basically chunking down your process and really making sure you're committed to that. So I think owning your plan to executing strong yeses for every single client, because that's, to me, we don't want a client to be in a situation where they get told no and they get the loans done somewhere else. But we also don't want to have these files that you're having to rework the whole time because you weren't thorough up front.
All right, Jay, what are you hearing from loan officers today?
Well, what I'm hearing from loan officers as well as processors and ops managers is there's a lot of hard files right now.
Yes. It is so hard. It's so hard, but I think there's opportunity in the hard.
That's right. That's right. There's a silver lining and a benefit to doing hard loans. Yeah. Where are you seeing, as a producer, where are you seeing challenges?
Well, I think this market cycle is bringing affordability challenges. That's just the reality of what's taking place. So that becomes, debt to income ratio, liquidity, all of the things that go into the home loan process. Those are challenging in themselves. And I really think that slowing down is the key, because it's easy to miss things. It's, think about just FHA and variable income. Like, you off on that, you're proceeding, you think you got your income calculated, and you don't slow down to really review the guidelines to ensure that you are dialed in, bam, that loan, that thing may blow up. So I think debt ratio is just one of the big pressing factors today. What are you seeing?
Well, I think to that point, one of our core values is to operate from a place of peace and with discipline. And the filter through that is knowing your plan. And what I think's happened for a lot of loan officers in this cycle, one, we have affordability issues. That's not a surprise to anybody listening to this. That's known. And so we are having a fight to get these new home buyers to afford, the home that they want to buy. But there's also the aspect of, when I was a student athlete and having worked with a lot of different coaches, one of the seasons that people actually, their grades slip is not actually during their sports season. Because during the sports season, you're busy and you get your routine and you're disciplined, you're structured, right? And so if you've been really busy in the past as a mortgage producer, when the spring rolls around, basketball's over, and you're like, well, I got all this time, you kind of lose some of your disciplines. And so I think for me, and maybe I've said this before, slowing down to speed up is really key so that you are basically chunking down your process and really making sure you're committed to that, regardless if you're closing, way more loans than you're used to, your standard, or you're less than you're normally doing. And I think that's kind of what's happened a little bit, as people are in a season where the market's not as busy and people are closing at a clip where they're a little bit more casual, kind of like I was in the spring after basketball season with my homework. And there can be some slippage to how you do the things that you need to do to get them done well. And so I think owning your plan to executing strong yeses for every single client, because that's, to me, we don't want a client to be in a situation where they get told no and they get the loans done somewhere else. But we also don't want to have these files that you're having to rework the whole time because you weren't thorough up front. And so being able to put your buyers in a situation where they know with confidence that yes is a yes, and that as a salesperson allows you to be able to best maximize and utilize your time, because you say yes with this client, get them under contract and get that loan towards closing, and then you can work on more consultations and meetings for relationships.
What are your thoughts about this wide variety of new loan products that are coming into the market? Like, I think there's so much opportunity with non-qualified mortgages. And if you're new to the business and you don't know what non-qualified mortgages means, it's kind of like everything that falls outside of the box. So with Dodd-Frank, with TRID, qualified mortgages were defined as part of just general kind of lending going forward. But and for 9 or 10 years, that's really been the mode we've been operating in. However, I'd say maybe over the last year or so, we've seen a ton of non-qualified products come to market, and they're challenging in the sense that they're different from what we know with FHA, VA, Fannie, Freddie, Standard Jumbo. But there is opportunity there if we can slow down and embrace how they fall outside of this qualified mortgage kind of bucket. Tell me what you're hearing.
I would say it's really exciting, and to be able to have the options and the product offerings that have come out, and to be able to come back and see, and they're not just for like just a bank statement loan. There's the Alt-A stuff that is
Right.
really attractive financing. It's not like really high priced, but it does allow us to be able to make more make sense loans for clients. And so I'm so excited about it. But similar to your pre-approvals, you have to make sure you understand each nuance to each investor, because they're all a little different. And you may have 4 or 5, 6 non-QM investors that do all the different stuff.
Yes.
And each one, it's not like, well, it's Fannie or Freddie.
No, it's not.
It's totally different. And so you have to be really dialed in. And I think where I see a lot of mistakes, some of these have become hard loans, right? Like, these are so hard. Well, have you done one before? No.
Right.
2, did you follow your standard pre-approval process, or did you get this one vetted? Or, probably most common is, they heard about a bank statement loan, or they heard about an Alt-A, qualifying situation with a consumer of one of their teammates, and we're really collaborative and we're always sharing, but they didn't learn that program themselves. They just heard it the 5-second win on the sales meeting or the mastermind, and then they got a client that kind of fits that, and they're like, oh, I think I can get that done.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't what you're supposed to do. You were to fully vet and pre-approve that person so that they're ready to go, and that you can submit that loan and then work on getting more.
Yeah, there you have it. Vet before you say yes.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, hopefully this has been valuable to you. Please comment, subscribe, follow us, and give us your feedback. I mean, really, we just are so excited to just bring real conversations that are directed towards the loan originators in our country and kind of break down the challenges of the current day. So, Jay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.